Welcome, everyone. I want to take a minute to just say thank you for joining today. This is our first What If Wednesday of the new year, and I am so excited because we are doing something a little different. And honestly, something that really changed for me how I'm approaching 2026. And so on Sunday, I introduced this idea during our Sunday set of a North Star word. So, one word that really captures your intention for the year, not a resolution, not a goal. This is just a word that can remind you of who you are and what you want this year to feel like. So, today I'm going to show you exactly how I found mine using AI as my thinking partner. Claude is my AI partner these days. Um, and by the end of this session, I hope that you have everything that you need to find your word. My word for this year is clear, not clarity, because it's not something that I'm chasing. My word is clear because I realize I already know who I am, what I'm building. I just need to start living it. And I need to be reminded of that from time to time. So having what I'm about to show you is really going to help. So here's the thing though, I didn't find this word from a Pinterest quote or what I normally might do, which is sit and brainstorm a bunch of words or search it up from some other planner that I've done in the past. I found it by having a real conversation with Claude AI. It asked me questions. Still struggling. Sometimes I refer to it as a she, sometimes it's a it, sometimes it's a he. We're just going to roll with it. Um, and the word sort of found me. So let's do this together. I'm going to screen share and walk you through the exact process. So if you are new to Claude, I want you to go ahead and open up a web browser. It is literally Claude, CLAUDE.ai. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so I have shared my screen. Um, you'll see that I'm using Claude. You can use the free version for this. Some of you might be using ChatGPT, totally works too. I'm just going to be showing Claude because that's what I use. You can see that it knows me. I actually use the paid version, but that's because I wanted to hold on to some of my information and really help be my thinking partner. So but that's really the first thing that I want you to know is that AI is your thinking partner. It's not this massive oracle, if you will. It's not going to tell you what your word is. It's not going to help you find your word. Or it is going to help you find your word, but it's going to do that by asking you better questions. So think of it like a really good coach who has infinite patience with you and zero judgment. So here's how we start. I'm going to start by typing in a prompt that really sets the conversation. So I've already got it over here, so you don't have to watch me type. Copy. I want to choose a guiding word for 2026, one word that captures my attention for the year and reminds me of who I am and what I want this year to feel like. Then I'm thinking about, copy and paste this. I'd like you to be my thinking partner in discovering this word. Please ask me thoughtful questions one at a time to help me explore what matters to me most. Don't suggest words yet, just help me reflect. Start by asking me where I am in my life right now. So then you can use different types of large language models here. Opus, I am learning. Again, I am not an expert by these, but you can see these couple different things here. And I'm working from multiple screens, trying to look at you all and share my screen at the same time. So thanks for your patience there. Um, but haiku is going to give you fast, quick answers. I usually use the haiku component when I am just quick research types of things, little question that I have not in creation mode. Sonnet is really good for everyday tasks. Opus is really great for complex strategy types of work, which is great, but it really consumes your usage faster. So we're going to go with Sonnet because that's what I used the first time with it. So we'll see how this goes and see how it's going to interact with us a little bit. So um, let's go ahead and then you just hit this arrow here. We'll see what it comes up with. And it's going to sit and work. And one of the things that I actually love about Claude is this little asterisk here that just is screaming at you in a very joyful, playful way. So I love it. Here's why I also like Claude. See how it says this? I'd love to help you discover your word for 2026, Heather. Let's start here. When you imagine yourself at the end of 2026, looking back on the year, what do you want to feel proud of? Not necessarily what you accomplished, but how you showed up or how the year feels. And so see how it told it, I told it what I want, how I wanted to help. And that's the key. You have to give it clear direction about the kind of help that you want. And now it's going to ask me these questions. When I did this for real, I probably spent about 20, 30 minutes answering the questions before we ever got to the words. But I want to show you the kind of questions that it asked me. So I'm going to put in here, let's go ahead and answer this. What do you want to feel proud of by the end of the year? I want to stay focused on my business. I want to complete my plans. I want to be sure I balance who I am authentically with my business goals. What else do I want to feel proud of? Yeah, I want to feel proud of who I am. Okay. So I put that in there. And so we're gonna hit this button. And then what I'm gonna do in here is put some more questions. That's a powerful version of yourself. What pulls you away from that authentic balance? What makes you doubt or second guess yourself? And I'm gonna put in here, I'm doing a demo of this. And so there are a couple of questions that I also want it to ask me. And so this is kind of going through, and you can see how it's thinking as you go through this exercise. This is beautiful. She's talking about alignment. Do you see, again, it's not human-like, but it is gentle and it's kind and it's talking to you like it's your friend. And I want to be very clear. It's not always accurate. It doesn't understand a calendar, but it asks you these questions. So, what pulls you away from that balance? What makes you doubt or second guess yourself as you're building olive grows? I tend to have lots of ideas and struggle to figure out which one will attract the right members. I have so many ideas that I don't know how to accomplish them all at once. So this is me being super vulnerable with you guys. And I'm going to say, I'm going to put this in here. Okay. For the demo today that I'm sharing with my community members, can you ask me these types of questions? And I'll answer a few to show the group how this works. One, what season of life am I in? What's been draining my energy level? What would I want more of in 2026? And when have I felt most myself recently? So let's put this in here, let it know. So we're going to see what it says. But these are the things, again, this is a conversation. And so it's going to take what you give it. It's going to use its large language model. If you've heard the term LLM, that's what this is, large language model. It's going to start to pull these ideas connect together and connect those dots. So I have put some of this stuff in here. So what season of life am I in? I'm in a season of launching. My last kid's heading to college. I just started my own business. We're planning a move. Everything is shifting. Okay. Um, so let's see how it processes this. What will be interesting is to see, because these are similar types of things that I shared with it first. Um, and so if it actually pulls in the same types of responses. So what's been draining you recently? Well, I mean, what's been draining me is the uncertainty. There we go. The second guessing, really the feeling like I need to figure all this out. Um, figure out everything out before I can move forward. Again, spinning, spinning, spinning. It's a joyful little playful thing on there. Okay, so we're over what it's doing here. Again, you can always drop down here and say, okay, she's identifying these things. Let me move on to the next question. So this is it talking to itself. Look at this. That perfectionism and analysis paralysis can be so exhausting. Yeah, hello, especially when you're in a transformative season. So, what would you want more of in 2026? I want more confidence. There's a little voice inside my head. I know I've talked to you guys about her before that we call her Margie. Um, and she's really negative to me. And so I want more confidence that I already know enough, more trust in my own decisions, more forward motion instead of spinning. All right, there we go. So do you see what's happening here? And we've talked about this a little bit, but it's not telling me what to think. It's just helping me hear what I already know. That's magic. So, when have you felt most like yourself recently? I have um, felt most like myself when presenting a workshop to a group of women, and I see the light bulb moments happen. So, but before we move on here, because I want to get it thinking about, we need to move on to the word. So I want to pull off this next prompt. So then I'm going to say, we've done some reflection. This is where we need to now ask about the word suggestions. So based on everything I've shared, can you suggest 8 to 10 words that might capture what I need for 2026? Each word, briefly explain why it might fit what I've described. So let's see what it comes up with. This is the fun part. Launching and distilling her core purpose. All right, trust, momentum, clarity. You want to cut through the fog. This honors those light bulb moments. Commit, emerge, courage, flow, shine. Which of these resonates the most, or does one spark something close, but not quite right? Well, what I'm going to say on here is don't want to find clarity. I want to feel like I'm already clear on what I'm doing. The clarity piece resonates, and it really honors those light bulb moments that I create for others as well. Um, of looking at these types of things flow and like none of momentum feels good even. I'll put that in here. Momentum feels like a good word too. Um, but I don't want to keep changing my mind. I want to help remind myself that I know what I'm talking about and what I want to do this year. So let's see how it goes from there. All right. So let's see what else it says because I want us to get to I want to show you how it gets to a manifesto. I don't really love the word manifesto, but we're going to go with it, right? Again, this is that, hey, we're just going to try this. Okay, cool. You don't need to find clarity. You already have it. You need to trust it and stand in it. I want a word that reminds you, I already know. I don't need to keep second guessing. This word is it. So then we have certain, steadfast, grounded. I really like grounded. I was close to that one the last time. I'm going to put in here grounded feels good, but I'm wondering if clear feels better. Here's what I want to tell you that if you like the words that are coming up, awesome. If you don't, keep asking it for more. And you're like, this sort of feels like me, but this maybe isn't why. I 100% believe when the word comes to you, it is going to pop out and you are just going to feel, oh, this is so good. So this is what we're going to put here. All right, here we go. Let's see she, how he asks about it. Crafting questions to discern between these two. Let's test them both out. Say each one out loud as a declaration. I am grounded. I am clear. For me, clear feels like where I'm at. What do I need to come back to myself? Which one feels like the version of you that moves forward with confidence? Which stuff's guessing? Clear is it. Okay. Now, once you have that word, and again, this is that optional piece because I don't love the word manifesto, but I did not come up with manifesto. What I did initially was ask it, hey, how can I keep coming back to this? So let's look at that. Clear is it? Exclamation point. Claude knows that I like to get excited about things. And so I'm going to say, can you help me create a manifesto of sorts, even though I don't love that word, to help guide me throughout the year. I'd like to see how this shows up in my personal and professional life. Use past chats because it knows me. So it's going to pull in some specifics. You can tell it some examples of things that you know are going to come up this year, and it is going to relate to it. So I'm just going to tell it though, use past chats to better understand what I have coming up this year. We'll see how it goes. But things in a personal manifesto, and if you're watching this recording, I've also got a step-by-step guide linked below this video. So you can just kind of follow the step-by-step guide there of what prompts to put in, but what clear the sort of questions to craft that manifesto section that you want to be looking at is what clear means to me, insert your own word, obviously, my power, my peace, my permission, how clear shows up in my personal life, how clear shows up in my professional life. You can see that it's working through this and helping me. Decision filters based on clear, based on that word. What are some questions I can ask myself? Or a mantra for when I forget. I love a mantra. If I can have something that's in front of me, there are little pieces that really help me stay grounded and get to a place where I'm at. I've shared a lot of those with you all here in Olive Groves. Just start is one. You can see that I'm just starting here. I'm just sort of answering questions and this popping up. Guys, this is completely unpolished and completely just me throwing this out here. Um, but I think that if you can tell it to, let me get back to, sorry, move forward too quickly. The mantras and having things just start. Monday morning joy, finding joy in the moment. Perfection is momentary. Those types of things really help move me through. I do a lot of, we'll call it coaching, because I feel like that's where we're at from an empty nester perspective with the kids. And a lot of times I have to say, be where you're at when you're there. I need you to stay right here, because I have children who either tend to go too far in the past or too far in the future. And I have a superpower of being able to stay right here. So I try to help them remember, I need you to come back right to this minute. Okay, so let's look at what they found for us. Okay, here is your clear guide for 2026. Woven the specific context from your life, launching your last child, the move to Minnesota, building olive groves in the canopy, launching the grove in March. Those of you watching this video, we're launching a 90-day intensive, which basically takes everything that we could do in a year down into 90 days and get you a decision on, should I stay or should I go from my current role? Guess what? I probably already know what the answer might be, or you probably know what the answer might be. But if you're struggling with that decision, we're going to come up with some things in those 90 days, really dig deep with some individual coaching, some group coaching, some activities to get you to a point where you can confidently say, I'm going to stay right here. I'm okay right here. Or I need to make that decision. I need to go. So stay tuned for more there. Starting March 9th, 90 days, 90 days to answer that question. Should I stay or should I go? But let's come back here, because the moment when all my ideas threaten to pull me in different directions, clear is going to pull me back in. The structure shows how it shows up in your personal transitions, your professional decision making, what with specific clear looks like this example, so I can recognize it, and a quote, when I forget section. Hi, my name is Heather. I have some brain fog due to this midlife stage that I'm in. And so I do need a lot of when I forget moments. It is also the downside of living in the present moment that your memory is not there. So let's take a look at this bad boy. All right. What it means to me, I am not searching for clarity. I already have it. Clear is my reminder that I know what I'm doing. So it's literally repeating back to me what I told it, which is what it's supposed to. But I need it to help me do that strategic thinking, because that's not who I am. I'm not a big strategic thinker. I need to see, I can make some connections, but I need someone to help me. I'm very good at helping others make connections. Myself, completely different. This transition is bittersweet, and both emotions can be true. Do you see how, though this says, I am clear that this transition is bittersweet and both emotions can be true at once? Friends, there's not two emotions left here. Again, this is what I want to tell you. Never, ever, 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 ever copy paste something to use that you've created with AI. You have to go back and you have to read it. And so this is starting me off, which is fantastic. Clear looks like trusting that I raised humans who are ready, even when it feels too soon. When I move from Texas to Minnesota, clear that I can grieve what I'm leaving while being excited about what's next. Two things can be true. We talked a little bit about that on Sunday night too. But I am loving how this is putting things together. I don't need permission to want different things now that I wanted when I was 30. Friends, the number of changes that have happened with Heather Zink from 30 to now 45 is astronomical. So clear in my professional life, this is what I'm going to do. This doesn't know this yet because I haven't talked about it, but I have realized that creating content for me works better with me using LinkedIn versus Instagram. Instagram is exhausting for me. I love to consume it because I think it's fun and playful. But me creating it there's too much perfectionism in it. And so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to focus on LinkedIn. I have a PR intern that's looking to really build up her portfolio, and she's going to start to help me with LinkedIn. So that feels so good for me. My clear commitments. These are the things I'm there. And then when I forget, when I'm spinning and second guessing or feeling overwhelmed, I will come back to this. You already know what you need to know. You already know what you want to do. You are clear. Now move. This year is going to feel like focus, completion, alignment, pride. Not because everything goes perfectly, not because I never doubt myself, but because when doubt shows up, I remember I am clear and I keep moving anyway. I don't know if you noticed this, but Claude is basically speaking how I speak because I've been talking to it like this. I have been including every presentation I've ever done. I have been pushing in anything I've ever written for Olive Groves, and I show it how I show up. So I think that I hope that this helps you both utilize AI for a really cool purpose and personal reflection, but also see the little idiosyncrasies that come with it. You might like ChatGPT. You might be using Gemini. There's all sorts of tools out there. Claude just happens to be one that is working for me right now, so I'm just going to stick with it. P.S. You don't need to learn them all. Let me say that right now. You don't need to learn them all. As a woman in midlife, you need to understand what's happening in the professional world. You do not need to be an expert in all of these things. You need to seek out the help that you need to be able to do this. I have been using this now for several years. I was one of those people, and I have always been an early adopter of some new technology platform. Twitter, Facebook, way back in 2008, 2007-ish, started using those regularly. LinkedIn, I don't remember when that was, maybe 2010 or maybe it was close to them. But anyway, I've been using those types of platforms for a really long time. Anytime there's new tech that comes out, I'm going to test it. So if you have a question about that, that is Heather's superpower. Hey, have you ever used this? Well, no, or maybe I have. And if I haven't, I'm happy to dig deeper with you. So keep coming back. So I'll share my clear manifesto with the community so you can see what this end result looks like. I want you to be able to do it on your own. And so what I want to do is really kind of recap these wonderful questions that we have. And we're in multiple screens, so thank you for your patience. Okay, so let's recap here. You need to set up the conversation, step number one. Tell AI you want to find your word, ask it to be your thinking partner. You need to then, number two, answer the reflection questions that it gives you. Be honest, this is just for you. AI is not judging you. It's not. It's literally the least judgmental thing. When I say that, sometimes we also see that there are cultural biases that come through, racial biases that come through. And so tell it who you are. Tell it what you're thinking. Tell it more about yourself. The more it starts to learn about you, the more it can pull in things. The more you use your own language and how you talk with it and treat it like it is a person sitting across the desk from you, the more it's going to feed you back things and get you to look at things in a little bit different way, but speak to you in the way that you want it to. Number three, ask for word suggestions. So give me 8 or 10 options based on your reflections. Then I want you to most importantly, notice how your body is feeling and which word makes you take a breath. You guys remember when we looked at clarity, that didn't work, but clear worked really well. Then explore that word. Ask AI to help you understand why it fits. And if you don't get a word in those 8 to 10 options that feels good, talk to it about why. And then that last step is really building a manifesto. Go deeper so that it creates this guide for you throughout the year. I'm going to have the step-by-step guide with all these prompts posted in the community right after these sessions. So don't hesitate to ask questions. But what I would love for y'all to do, just depending upon where you're at with AI, is for you to spend just 10 minutes with it, see what comes up, and then share in the community what you find. I really want to celebrate with you. This is the work. This is that gentle, curious work, my friends, of knowing yourself. And you don't have to do it alone. I will see you back in the community where I'll share more about my clear journey. Thank you all for coming today. Let's talk soon.